Hello, broadcasters. Gage here. Today we're going to be talking about what multi-streaming is and whether or not you should do it. So first things first, what is multi-streaming? Simply put, it's simultaneously broadcasting to multiple platforms. So going live to Facebook and YouTube at the same time would be an example of multi-streaming, which is pretty cool, right? It's like being two places at once, at least with your live streams, or even more than two places. So what are the benefits? The sort of first thing that comes to mind, and maybe the obvious thing, is increased reach. So different platforms have different audiences. So by going live to more than one, you're going to be putting your content in front of more eyes, and potentially, if you do things correctly, multiply the amount of people that are seeing your stream, if it's done with purpose and if it's done correctly. So next benefit, another great benefit, is insights into your audience. So by simultaneously broadcasting, it creates an excellent way to sort of test where your content is resonating and what platforms might be the most promising for you in general. Because it's the exact same content going out at the exact same time, it's easy to compare one platform with the other. So for example, let's say you're going live to Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Periscope. Maybe you see that your content is performing really well on Facebook and LinkedIn, but no one's really watching on YouTube and Periscope. So that's a great insight that maybe you should focus your efforts on those two platforms, Facebook and LinkedIn, and maybe spend less time on the others, or maybe cut them out entirely and just laser in your focus on those two platforms and just stream to those two platforms. And then, of course, there's time saving. So if you're the type of person that's constantly downloading your live stream from one platform and uploading it to other platforms, this is obviously going to save you some time because you're going live to both of them at once. I do think that there's still a place for repurposing. So I think in my opinion, there's certain platforms where I think it makes sense to multi-stream, and certain platforms where it can be good to repurpose. So I think it's a good idea to say multi-stream on Facebook and YouTube, but you can still get some benefits by repurposing pieces of that content to somewhere like Instagram, like clips from your live stream. I think that's still a good idea. So sure, there's all these benefits, but should you multi-stream, and who should multi-stream? I think the people that will get the most benefit from multi-streaming are people that sort of have a personal brand outside of the platforms that they go live to. So people like podcasters, digital marketers, entrepreneurs, business owners, like anyone that has a product or service, essentially, those types of folks. People that I think might want to more carefully consider the pros and cons of multi-streaming are people that have a brand that's closely tied to the platform that they're going live to. So people that think of themselves as YouTubers or as Twitch streamers might want to consider closely whether or not they want to pursue multi-streaming, because for a YouTuber, your product is your product is your YouTube content. And from what I've seen, in my opinion on that, is that you should still use all the social platforms, but you don't want to be putting your product out everywhere. You want to be driving people to your product. But if you fall into the other categories we mentioned, podcasters, digital marketers, anyone with a personal brand, I do think that there are very significant benefits. That being said, it's not a silver bullet, and I have several tips that I think you should keep in mind before you multi-stream. The first one is first stream to a single platform. So if you've never broadcasted before, it can be very overwhelming going live to multiple platforms and having to manage these different audiences, right? So I would start by choosing one platform and sort of getting your footing on that platform and becoming a comfortable broadcaster. Once you're comfortable with broadcasting in general, it's not too difficult to add a second platform, but I would make sure that you're comfortable with one platform first. My next piece of advice is to be familiar with every platform you go live to. You should be a regular user of that platform and understand the platform, probably be on it, at least once a week or something like that. So for example, if you don't know what Periscope is, you should not be live streaming to Periscope, because first of all, it's just a waste of time. And it can also hurt you in general, just because it doesn't look very professional if you're putting content out somewhere and don't care about it. People are going to pick up on that. My final piece of advice is to know your audience. So all the excellent advice out there about picking platforms that you should be present on in general applies to your multi-streams. So the best places to multi-stream to are places where your audience hangs out, places where your audience spend time on, those are probably the platforms where you're going to benefit from multi-streaming. So I'd focus on those platforms and not really worry about platforms where your audience isn't. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this gives you a good understanding of what multi-streaming is and whether or not it's something that you should spend time on.